I want you to imagine something for a second. For those of you that might be spending the holidays and maybe you're alone, or maybe you don't have that person that you had before. Maybe you've gone through a major breakup, maybe a separation, or maybe even a divorce. And a person who was a prominent figure in your life is no longer there. Now, in your mind and in your heart, you know you did everything that you could to try and keep that relationship together. But for whatever reason, that person decided either they walked away from you or they created a situation that was too chaotic, too disrespectful, too stressful for you to stand in, so you walked away from them. And now you're in this situation here, the holidays come up, there's all these memories, all this energy, people are having a great time, and you feel like a little bit of hole in your heart. You feel a little empty inside because you're still trying to get past what happened and also start the next chapter of your life. So it's hard. There's no question. Even if you feel like you did everything, especially if you feel like you did everything you could possibly do, think of in your energy, in your mind, in your heart to keep that relationship together, and it fell apart anyway, it's hard. Because maybe you thought that person was really special. Now, imagine this. Even though it's hard, and even though you might have trouble maybe deleting certain pictures, you might have trouble throwing certain things away, you might have trouble not recalling certain memories over and over and over and over again. You may have trouble not hearing their voice, not seeing their face, so on and so forth. You know what I'm talking about. Even though it's hard, imagine this. Imagine, if you will, what it must be like for them. Again, if you're the one, you know you did everything in your mind and heart to keep the relationship together. And they were the ones that took things too far, colored outside the lines. They cheated, they were disrespectful, they were dishonest, whatever the case. And they went too far out the lines. They pushed you to a place where it just couldn't work anymore. Regardless of who walked away from who. If you think it's hard for you, imagine, if you will, put your mind, if you will, in their shoes. Imagine how it must feel to be the person that fumbled you. Imagine how it must feel to be the person that fumbled you. Like, you know you walk with that laughter. You know you walk with that light. You know you walk with that love everywhere you go. And you tried to hand it to them on a silver platter. And in spite of your best efforts, they rejected it. And now they're out in the world, bouncing around, doing who knows what with who knows who. Trying to find somebody like what? Like you? They fumbled you? Imagine what it would feel like to know. Maybe it's 6 months from now, maybe it's 6 years from now, but at some point they're gonna have to know, wow, I fumbled somebody who was incredible. I fumbled somebody who had a big heart. I fumbled somebody who was a hard worker. I fumbled somebody who had integrity, who was honest, who was faithful, who was loyal. I fumbled somebody who really cared about me, who really tried. Imagine if you could, what it would be like if you were the person that fumbled you. Where do you go from there? What do you tell yourself? Especially if they fumbled you in a way where there's no coming back. The bridge is burned, it's gone, it's a wrap, it's done. Imagine, who's gonna wake up and cook them that breakfast that they like? And the weekends in the morning, who's gonna just nudge them out of bed so they get to work on time? Who's gonna bring that snack that they like or that meal that they like? Whatever it is, right? It could be Carl's Jr., it could be In-N-Out, it could just be a shake and fries, that thing that they like on your way home back to the house. Who's gonna bring that to them? Who already knows what it is that they like and that they need? Who's gonna be the person that says, I know you didn't eat today, here you go? Who's gonna be the person that says, I know you're dehydrated, I know you're not drinking anything, are you drinking something? Who's gonna be the person that texts them and says, how you doing? Who's gonna be the person that calls them and say, hey, make sure that you... Who's gonna be the person that helps them check on their kids? Who's gonna be the person that reminds them of their mother's, father's birthday? Who's gonna be the person that walks their stanky dog when they're too lazy to do it? Who's gonna do that? How are they gonna find somebody like you? Imagine being the person who fumbled you. If you think you've got it hard right now, imagine when that realization hits. Man, they fumbled you? There is no retribution that you need. There is no revenge. There is no I need to tell my side of the story. When that hits, the realization that they fumbled you, when that hits, you don't even have to say anything. The loss says it all. Bless.